Good morning. I was perusing social media today and ran across an article, and and as I was reading the article, and many of you may have already seen it or heard about it, or I know it's posted on Bloomberg and some of the others. And I saw the article, and there's several things that I noticed really quick about the article, and one of them is the amount of different headlines, if you will, that the article uses. And that is one of the things that's kind of like, okay. But then what their motive is behind the article is that's the most concerning part, I believe. So let me take you on over. This article's on Bloomberg. I will leave a link to the article in the description of the video. You have to play games, if you've got an account, not got an account. There are ways, there are things, yeah. Anyway, let me take you on over to the page. I'll leave the link for you. I think they give you so many free articles or something, for a period of time or something. So if you don't normally go to the Bloomberg website, you'll probably be able to load this article up and read it yourself. Anywho, as you see the headline on the actual title on the article say, the preppers were right all along. That's a stark cry away from the other things that are associated with it. So, okay, the headline, at least as we see it, are the preppers were right all along. So let's talk about the URL. And I know you can't see that because I've got that cropped out of the video. But the URL is, Bloomberg.com, yada, 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 yada. But then after that last forward slash, and there's dashes. I'm not going to repeat the dashes. I'm just going to say the words. Climate change is launching a new generation of preppers. Now, that is what the URL says, right? Now, check this out. Let's come on over to here, and I'll click Twitter because I did tweet this out. And let's see what that says when you share the article out. What does that say? I know I shared it out. Here we go. Now, down here, you see the preppers are right all along, right? And then up here, it says suburban guardian moms are the new preppers as disruptions to the world's food supplies become more frequent. It's almost like they can't decide on what they want this to be about, or maybe possibly they want the ability to morph it to whatever they need it to be about. That's probably the more likely thing. But let's get into this because the meat and potatoes of this is kind of concerning here. As it says up here, once the domain of end-of-timers and right-wing radicals, the survivalist mindset is pushing into the mainstream thanks to rising climate change disasters and civil unrest. Do you think it's really the climate change disasters? I don't think so. Civil unrest? Yeah, I would say there are some people most certainly prepping for civil unrest, but prepping for climate change? Maybe pole shift, maybe the grand solar minimum or something to that effect, but as in the, nonsense that's approved by the mainstream as climate change? Nah. See, the preppers are on to that. Anyway, continuing on, in the first 7 months of 2020, as the COVID-19 pandemic brought America to its knees, sales at survivalist supplier Augustin Farms surged, tripling its annual revenue. The company could not make its Mylar packages of long storage comfort foods, powdered eggs and nut butters, freeze-dried stroganoffs, casseroles, and lasagnas fast enough. Now, I have a little bit of inside experience when it comes to this. During the beginning of the pandemic, I was still working with Prepper Nurse One, and running his website and stuff like that. And I cannot even begin to tell you the amount of sales. It was insane. And of course, that's with legacy food storage products. And it was insane, the amount of sales that were going on. Yeah, I got a cut for what I did for the website. And I'll tell you what, my cut made quite a bit of money. Not to mention what he was bringing in. It was insane. That the computer that I use, yeah, a lot of the stuff, that we had gotten for prepping was gotten with funds that was generated from those survival food sales. Like I said, built this computer with it, did up the where I've got my monitors and all that set up. There's a lot of stuff that we did. I got tools, you name it, tons of stuff. I can tell you for a fact that they claim here, let me read on, it says here, to meet the demand, founder Mark Augustin simplified his production, knocking his 60 products down to the core bestsellers and cutting off dozens of distributors so that he could funnel his sales largely through Walmart Incorporated and Amazon.com Incorporated. It was like my Super Bowl. It was finally here, Augustin told me, and it hasn't yet ended, okay? And the one I was looking for, and here it's talking Mountain House, Ready Wise, My Patriot Supply, and it talks about how the survival food sales started to wane off, and then all of a sudden the Ukraine stuff started, and it built back up. I don't want to read the article verbatim because Bloomberg could get all pissy about it, considering all the nonsense they have on it. But here, I want to hit the stuff that's important, right? Here is one of the concerning paragraphs here. It says, preppers, as the community of bunker builders and food hoarders, language is important, folks, is known, emerged during the Cold War as fears of nuclear holocaust drove some people to go to great lengths to prepare for survival in a burned-out world. So, you have to understand that what individuals that their intention when they write like this is to garner an emotional response in your mind. Okay? They want it to position your mindset in a certain place. And they need to control your emotions to do that. So that's why they use words like food hoarders. Okay? Because that way you're automatically going to go, well, them sons of bitches, right? Automatically, well, they took something they weren't supposed to, right? And then they bring out the extreme Cold War preppers. And when I say that, I don't mean any negative connotation or anything like that, but I'm talking about those that actually did build bunkers or go through some type of similar process. I know there's a house here that I've heard that that's what the guy did with the basement, essentially, of the house. And I believe I was told there's like lead in the ceiling of the basement, so that, the idea was that it would stop radiation. So, I don't know, that's what I've heard. I know somebody that used to live in the house, that's what they told me about it. So, yeah, there are those individuals, but what they're trying to do in this article is they're trying to make people look like crazy, selfish people that took something that wasn't rightfully theirs. Or that's to me the attitude they're trying to kind of put out here. And, it goes on into talking about the food sales and stuff like that. Right here it says one recent report predicts that the survival food industry, which now produces very roughly $500 million into annual sales, privately held manufacturers don't like to share their numbers, will grow by $2.8 billion by 2026. So they're trying to, I guess, let you know just how big of an industry it is, how much it's going to grow. And I'm going to tell you, ignore that kind of stuff, because if you really think we've got that kind of time, and you're probably not a prepper, because most preppers I know, yeah, they know serious stuff is about to go down. Oh, okay. We're gonna bring in the Mormon folk, right? Early on, our market was mostly the people preparing their bunkers for Armageddon or resisting a government they feared would take away their guns, Aaron Jackson, former chief executive officer of ReadyWise, told me. Like Augustin Farms and most other survival food companies, ReadyWise was founded in Utah to serve the Mormon community, which is encouraged by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to prepare for the end of times. But Mormons, and more broadly men, no longer represent even the large majority of survival food's exploding market. Now, this is also a fact that I was aware of. In less than a decade, said Jackson, the ReadyWise market shifted from about 95% men to more than 50% women, most of them mothers. Known in industry, I'm not quite sure what that word is. I've never seen that word. Anyway, it's known in the industry as guardian moms concerned about a reliable food supply for their kids. I mean, this is there are reasons why women have largely taken the lead and getting stuff going in prepping, and it's not really that surprising. It has to do with human nature. It has to do with our basic human instincts. That is why. The truth of the matter is, there's a lot of people, when I say people, men, that they're just not stepping up to the role. And it just is what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Look at the younger generations. You can't get them off the Xbox. Those are men? I think not. Anyway, and that is by no accident, by the way. Remove fathers out of the home, make men useless, and you control the population. Your vote ain't gonna help that, is it? Anyway, this article is a bit concerning. I will leave a link to it in the description of the video. I do recommend you try to read it. I'll just kind of scroll up it so you can see how long the article is, and that way you can decide whether or not you want to sign up for even a temporary or something subscription, so that you could read the entire article. Want to make sure you know how long that article is to make sure that you don't miss anything. You know what I mean? I know what you know what I mean. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed day. Hope to see you for the live show tonight. Shalom.